Hi all, today we're going to learn how to use the sensors on the microbit. We are going to do 4 different types of sensors that the microbit has. The microbit has several different sensors. One is a light sensor, which is also the LEDs. Another one is the temperature sensor, which is also the CPU at the back. And then we also have some motion sensors, which are located at the bottom at the back. We are going to do these 4 different codes. The first one we're going to do is the light sensor. As you can see here, what our plan is forever to plot a bar graph using the lights and using the light sensor to light up the LEDs up to the brightest light. So the more brighter it is in the room, and the highest number you can get to is 255, the more lights on the LED will light. Let's go to our code. Okay, to create a light sensor, what we would need to do is we would need a forever loop. So I'm going to remove the start, and we are going to go to the LEDs. In the LED, we are going to plot a bar graph, and we are going to use one of the inputs. As you can see here, there are many different types of inputs, and the one we're going to use is the light level. We are going to put it up to the highest level, and if I use the simulator and imagine this is the sunlight, and I put it up to the brightest light, you can see that the simulator will show that all the LEDs will light up. If I make it dark, only a few light up, all the way to 0. Let's take a look on a real microbit. Hi all, we're going to test out our light sensor. Here it's quite dark, and as you can see, there's only one LED pressed. That means the light sensor's sensing that there's not a lot of light. I'm going to use a mobile phone as a torch, and I'm going to see that as I get closer to the LEDs, which is as it is a light sensor as well, you can see that the screen lights up. See if you can have a go. The next one we are going to do is the temperature sensor. The temperature sensor is located at the back of the microbit. What we will do is use a forever loop, create a variable which is called temp or temperature, and we are going to set the variable to the temperature sensor. And then we are going to just show the number, which is the temperature. I'm going to need a forever loop. I'm going to make a variable called temp. I'm going to set the temperature to the sensor itself. And then all I'm going to do is show the number, which is whatever the variable ends up being, whatever the temperature ends up being. So here is my simulator. If it gets quite warm, it will display the temperature. Because it's going forever, it continuously checks. Let's say it's quite cold. Now, to make this actually function, you can use your real microbit and put it in the sunlight where it's nice and warm, or put it in a very cold area. Try it and give it a go. The next code is we're going to make a digital balance, something that detects the motion of it going from one side to the other, a balance. we are going to use the accelerometer, and we are actually going to use the code that gives us a tick when we're in balance or shows us that we're leaning to one side or the other side. Okay, so I'm going to use an if statement, and I am going to put an if statement in a forever, and I'm actually going to use a logical comparison statement, because I actually want to say if, and here is my sensor, acceleration, if my acceleration is less than minus 100 down, like a balance down, then I'm going to show my LEDs to lean to one side. I'm also going to use another logic if statement. And this time, I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to do it the other way. So not a negative figure, not a negative 100. Now I'm just going to do 100. So one was all the way to one side, and now this is going to be all the way to the other. So I'm going to duplicate this and change my picture slightly. And now finally, to make the balance, the actual center, I'm going to use one more logic statement. And this one is going to have an and. The and, what I'm going to say is I'm going to say that if it is this, and this, that means that they must be both. I'm going to give it a tick. Okay, so the last part is if it is less than 100 and less than and greater than, check that. Might make it better. It should run. So now if I tilt to one side, it tells me that I'm out of balance. If I tilt to the other side, it tells me I'm out of balance. And if I am centered, it gives me a tick. So that's in balance. The last one we're going to do is create a compass, and we are going to need to calibrate the real microbit, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. So in this code, we are going to set degrees to the compass sensor, and if the degrees are less than 45 or the degrees are greater than 315, then it's going to be north facing. And else, if the degrees are less than 135 degrees, so you're looking at a compass, then it's going to show E for easts. And then if the degrees is 225, then it's going to be south, and the rest is going to be west. So you're looking at a compass in terms of the 360 degrees. Okay, here is one I've prepared earlier, but I just wanted to show you some main features. The first thing you're going to need to do is to make a variable called degrees. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set the degrees to the compass heading, as one of the inputs. So the compass heading is one of those sensors that works out the direction. And then you're going to use an if, else, else if. You're just going to keep adding into the loop until you have 4 choices. Remember that what's important is the less than 45 degrees or greater than 315. Once you get these logic statements correct, and the logic statements are located here, it should work. Hi all, this is the compass, and when the compass starts it says tilt to fill screen. What this means is we're going to calibrate the compass. All you have to do is tilt to fill all the LEDs in the screen until it calibrates. Now that the screen is calibrated, it should give me a happy face to say that it's completed. Now, when I turn my compass, it should tell me what direction I'm facing.